Hi, everybody. So I'm really excited to be back sitting here with my brother B and sister-in-law Ariella. Many of you are already familiar with them because I've done podcasts with them and we've done videos in the past. But for those of you who are new, I just wanted to reintroduce them and have them tell you a little bit about themselves and what they're up to right now.
So I'm Baruch HaLevi. Most people call me B, as you can see, it's much easier. I am a guide. I have a doctoral degree in pastoral counseling, and I have been guiding people both in my capacity now as a logotherapist, which is meaning-centered psychotherapy I'll tell you about, as well as a spiritual guide. I'm an ordained rabbi and did that for many years. And now I work one-on-one with clients, many of whom are Rebecca's, guiding them to find deeper meaning in their lives and greater purpose for their lives, and ultimately cultivate resilience to live their lives on their terms.
Great. I'm Ariella, and I am a shamanic energy healer. I help people root down into their ancestral roots, healing beliefs, traumas, and wounds that really don't belong with you, and also finding the wisdom inside of your ancestral roots, the medicine that you came here to be. I help people clear past lives and also bring in energy of those lives that we do need here. And I also help you clear out and root down into your essential events. Whatever happened to you in this lifetime that you would like to grow from so it is not your story. I take all of that and we help you rise up.
So essentially, we're the mind, body, spirit, right? We all have our areas of expertise. But, I think this is a good segue into, we're talking about heaven on earth, right? We are spiritual beings having a human experience, and we're in this 3D earth plane. And that is made up with contrasts, dualities, polarities that sometimes trigger us and challenge us and test us. And, we're moving into the holiday season. So naturally, all of us are going to be with family and friends, large gatherings.
Right.
And, for me, being an empath, and I'm sure many listening are also empathic and sensitive, it can get really intense and overwhelming. And so I have had to learn how to keep my heaven on earth and stay in a good space by using my spiritual tools. But we have tools on a mind, body, spirit level that we can draw on as we move into this time of the year. And so I thought it would be neat if we each kind of tackled our area. Obviously, I'm spirit.
But you always get to be spirit.
So I thought we would just share with you some tips that maybe you can draw upon if you find yourself struggling to stay in your higher self and grounded and actually enjoy the holidays and experience heaven on earth.
From a Kabbalah, Jewish mystical perspective, mind, body, and spirit are really encircled or enshrouded by soul. And so they're all different pathways into soul. So we have all three of them, right? We're three sort of centers of intelligence beings, not just one. And so the mind it's a good starting point, since we all need to think our way through life as well as feel our way through life. For me, knowing my why, my intention, helps me deal with all of the noise. When the noise of life kicks in, if I can get back to my why, to my purpose, what am I doing here in this, not only life, let's break it down to what you all are going through, just as we are going through in the holiday season. What are the presents about? What are the gatherings about? And which version of me wants to be present and not just offer presents, but presence, right? Being fully present as a gift to others and to myself. And so for me, it always comes back to, and when I'm working with clients, to know your why, and then the hows you can endure, you can even enjoy. Because, for instance, you're around the Christmas, celebration, the Hanukkah celebration, whatever your celebration, if you know your why, all of the trivia, all of the noise starts to fall away. And I was just reading a book that said you only have X amount of Thanksgivings left, each and every one of us. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 50. How would you approach it with that in mind, knowing your why? The things that bothered you would no longer bother you. The people that annoyed you, you would remember that they are temporary in your life as you are in theirs in this form. Of course, we travel on together. But I think start with why. and just get clear and intentional before you walk into any of those holiday parties. You can endure your how, you can enjoy your how, you can transform this into the most amazing experience of your life, which is what every moment should be. And it can be when we are clear about why we are here and knowing our why to endure our how.
All right, body.
Okay, so I like what you said because I kind of want to melt it together. So what I love about mind, body, spirit is that we meet in the soul. And I always say that with Baruch and I being married, like we come from different places, right? But we always meet in the soul. And I actually feel like as a family, we do the same, right? And so as a family, we all have different ways in which we act. And then we come together during these family holidays and we can trigger each other, right? And you know, Aunt so-and-so said this, and this person said this, and this one brought the wrong mashed potatoes, and whatever. You get triggered. And so my feeling is your DNA and your DNA lives in your body, and your DNA is the one that's getting triggered, right? We're triggered to fear, we're triggered to anxiety, triggered to wanting to run, wanting to avoid, or to anger, right? You want to use your voice. And so your DNA is literally being triggered here. Like your purpose isn't to just show up and like open presents. Your purpose is, I don't know why I came to this family and chose the family that I did, but I actually have done this before I go to family events, is I create a ritual of ancestors, like a little healing ritual before I even get on an airplane and go to the event. And so this is something you can do at home. Is I like to do it outside, but you can gather some rocks. So that's also, nature connects us to our bodies. And the rocks, first and foremost, will connect you to the things that you want to release, right? So if you know that you're going to meet all of your family members and all of your emotional stuff is going to be triggered, then most likely this has been a trigger for not just you, but for generations.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can actually take the rock, and nature holds our pain and holds the stuff that we don't need anymore and disintegrates it into the earth. So I like to actually state what I am releasing before I get to the Thanksgiving table, and I blow it into the rock and I leave it out. You can leave it under the moon. You know, there's new moon rituals and full moon rituals. You can leave it outside and let it just clear away from your body so that you release it so you don't carry it with you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Can you do crystals?
You can do crystals too. Yeah, crystals, any stones, anything like that. But then I don't like to stop there. I like to also bring in, what is it that I want to connect to ancestrally. So our ancestors are they've obviously been on the other side for so long. A lot of them are our guides, and I call them wise and well. And they are the medicine men and women that are here to teach us how to overcome those triggers, because you are not your trigger. And I don't think we want to walk around feeling like we are victimized or sitting in our stuff, in our emotions. And so after I blow into these rocks or crystals, I think about, who am I and what do I want to be? And then it's as simple as calling upon your wise and well ancestors to teach you how to walk on this earth with this family in love, in light, in healing. And that's it's such an enormous healing when you can face your family of origin and you can bless them. Even, there's a lot of hardships in there's struggles, but when you can bless where you came from, you heal, 6-7 generations before and after you. And so why not do it before you enter in and have a purpose to go into this Christmas, Hanukkah, Thanksgiving celebration?
Right. It's about doing it intentionally.
Right.
So I love all of that. And, we blend so well, because I could play off both of what you said. But in the end, if we're triggered, we're in our ego, right? And so the whole point is we want to try and step back and plug into our higher self, and to remember that, it's what the book I just wrote, What's Your Heaven? It's all about soul contracts, right? Everything in our external world, in the 3D world, is a mirror back to us of our own beliefs. And these we are in relationships in this lifetime to teach each other and learn from each other. So if somebody's triggering us, we have to then, pause and say, okay, this is lighting me up in some way. What is it this here to teach me? So it takes you out of victim and it puts you back into this empowered place. And that goes back to the why. And so, something that I do often is that I would offer you if, before you go into any gathering, but energetically line it up. Okay, so it's like how athletes visualize themselves performing. They meditate on it before they actually go and perform. So you can meditate beforehand and you can just imagine showing up, plugging into source, your higher self, showing up as your highest and best self and projecting light. I also like to talk about how we manage our energy, where we protect our energy, but rather than protecting, because that sounds so negative, imagine projecting your energy. Okay, so project light and love. So this comes down to a tool I use every day, and I call it my disco ball. So I step into my golden disco ball, and I just imagine at the core of it, and it's also about running energy. So I combine the disco ball with running energy, and I talk a lot about in my book what running energy does. But basically, you're visualizing different colors that hold different frequencies running through your energetic system to recalibrate you and to elevate your energy. Okay. And so for me, royal blue, I imagine first running royal blue because it deprograms. It gets me out of my ego, judgments, cleanses and clears. Then I imagine running gold because gold is the highest frequency and it's all about divine truth and all love. And I imagine just radiating that gold light. And then I finish it with violet flame, violet light, because that is very protective. It transmutes anything negative into a more positive energy. And so you just imagine running that energy in your disco ball and projecting you drop into your solar plexus. That's your point of power. And you breathe down into that and just send out light and love and truth and peace. And then you dominate the energy. Okay, and so you can do that beforehand, but you can also do it when you're in a space. If you start feeling uncomfortable, triggered, you feel energy of judgment or, other people's stuff, just, you can't send and receive energy at the same time. So get ahead of it, be proactive, and be in charge. Set the tone for the environment, send out so much love and light, and you will start to see that everyone and everything starts to shift and uplift to a more peaceful vibe.
I think that clearing your energy then, when you're in that field and you're radiating love and light. And then my tool is always, before I go to bed, is to do like a sensory clearing, right? To maintain that healthy energetic field is to clear it at night before you go to bed every night so that you go to bed with a clear channel.
Yes, because we're sponges. And, whether we're conscious or unconscious of it, we are absorbing energy all the time. Mm-hmm. And so I think that is a really important piece to end it with. Mm-hmm. And we all have different ways that we're going to do that. For some people, I know I have clients who say, I don't want to meditate, so I just go sit in a salt bath. Right? Or go take a walk around your block, because nature naturally, with all the negative ions, it cleanses, it clears, and it grounds you.
I work with a lot of men in particular and corporate types, and to offer them meditation and whatnot can be a stretch, but I ask them, what's the mission statement of your company? And they rattle it off, and I say, what's your mission statement? And they look at me like a deer in the headlights, because they've never articulated their why. And that is a meditative process for them to figure out their why and to recite it as a mantra. And that to them makes sense. So there's no wrong way of doing it.
Exactly. All right. So hopefully that serves you well, and wishing you all brightest blessings, all love, happy holidays, and we will see you again.